Hi, so today I have got a Lezyne. It's a Macro Drive 1000 light. This is a light that's designed to be fitted to e-bikes. So I've got a Shimano Steps motor on the bike that I have here now, and I've been looking for a light that can then use the battery to save having a separate light on the bike. It is, as the name suggests, so Macro Drive 1000, maximum lumens 1000, but it's also got a lot of other settings, so 600, 300, and then it's got daytime flash 500 lumens and a normal flash 600, plus it's got an auto mode. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I've got a Steps E7000 motor, so I'm going to do a little bit of just to see how it installs on that, but because it fits lots of different motors, so I won't go too much into installation. It says here it'll fit Bosch, Shimano, Yamaha, Bionics, Bros, and Continental. It doesn't say if it'll fit a specialized levo. I did have a levo until recently, decided not to fit this onto that because it doesn't have specific instructions. Might be possible, but yeah, it doesn't say if it is or not. Okay, so this is the mount that's supplied with it. There are two options actually. There's this, which is a stem mount, so it fits, you get the bolts and this mount fit into here. It should fit any stem that has a 4-bolt style like this with M5 size bolts, and then you've got the GoPro attachment on the end, and the light will simply fit on there. And this is, you can tilt this to suit the angle that you want, and then the cable should fit between there, and pull that all through. Creates quite a neat setup. Yeah, and then from this now I'll get the cable to go internally and then fit it up to the motor. So this is the Shimano Steps E7000 motor. Really simple to get into this. You don't need to remove anything. Just got 3 small screws on for this version it's on the drive side. Okay. Once the cover's off, you'll be able to bring the cable down in here, and the connections for the accessory mount are in there. Okay, so that's the cable fished through internally, and this is the end here. So I've got red cable and black cable, so red positive, black negative, and you can see the marks here. So this is for the E7000 at least, positive, negative, and just a case of attaching this up. One thing I will say is this is all glued up. Just about to see it's all glued there. You could undo it and change it slightly. As this is now, it only just fits in between these two connections. Okay, so that's now attached, and just a case of turning this on. One thing with at least with this Steps motor, is you need to activate it, and that you can't do, or at least I haven't been able to do, on the standard app that you get. So this is going to have to go to a Shimano Steps dealer to get this accessory port here. You have to get that activated. I've been riding and using these lights now for several months, and plenty of time to have a really good idea and to review them properly. It's also been winter, so plenty of darkness to take it out. First thing I say on the light performance, the brightest setting is really bright. I would imagine this will be bright enough for anyone off-road. And then I've been using this quite a bit on the road you can see with the tires on this bike. And on the road, I'm only using the dimmer setting or the flash. Anything above that, you're going to be blinding cars. So the very lowest setting is fine for road use. I've also had to point this down quite far. What I've noticed is the light, it's basically a big flood. So it's not a spotlight at all, it's a big flood. The light just gets pushed out everywhere, which is great for off-road, less good for road use, but I would imagine that most people are going to be using this for either for off-road or a mixture of off-road, just because of the level of brightness that it's got. What I don't like about it is all of the settings and then how you transfer through the settings. So once it's on, to go through the different settings, you push it. So that's now flash, second flash, and then it goes on to the bright one. So let's say you're in the bright one and you want to dim it to go down through. So let's say you want to go to the lower setting. So we're in max. So that's the second, third, fourth. Now, if I want to go back from that to the full beam, let's say it's the middle of the night, you have to go through the flash settings to get back up to that. And if you can't remember which setting you're in, you're pressing that button to go all the way, cycle all the way through the settings. And that is a real pain. There's lots of companies that will do a light where you press it and hold it for a little second and then it'll go onto flash. And I really wish that this had something similar. Or if you could customize it. So exposure lights, for example, you can customize the settings based on what you want in terms of brightness. And then to be able to go to the flash settings, you hold it for a second and let go, and then it goes to the flash. This would be much better if it had something like that. Thus, the biggest disadvantage is going through all of the settings. The mount has been good, and if you leave it at a certain tightness, you can adjust it up and down as it suits. But like I said, it's too bright to use on the road, and I find this on the dimmer setting and having to point it down is the best way for using on the road. But if you're after a light to use on an e-bike and you want something that's really bright for off-road use, or to be able to do a mix of on and off-road use, I'd still say that it's a decent light. Just be aware that cycling through all those settings is a real pain. Hopefully it's been of use to some people, and like I say, I'm glad I've got it. It's been a good light for me, and if anyone's got any questions on the light, I'm using it a lot, so I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone might have.